Alright, so this is the 7th time that I've tried to make this video today. It's been really difficult for me to do this. It's hard. But Adeline is asleep in the back seat, and now is as good a time as ever. And I'm going to do it, because I told you guys I was going to do it. And I'm going to do this for 2 reasons. One, because I feel like somebody out there needs to hear something about this. And 2, because I need to talk about it. I think it will help me get it off my chest. Sorry, it's dark. So, as you guys know, or maybe don't know, I've had a lot of things happen to me in my life, a lot of bad things, and I was that girl that just sat around and waited for the next bad thing to happen, you know, tornado, bomb, tornado, being told I couldn't conceive, back problems, just all kinds of health issues, and I was just waiting for the next bad thing to happen, and I'm tired of being that girl, and I'm not going to be that girl anymore. But the past couple days have been really difficult. So, you know, tornadoes happen, things, you know, that kind of stuff happens. People have back problems, people have medical problems, but the thing I get asked about the most is the bombing, because that's not something that a lot of people are familiar with. We see it on TV all the time. It's very, you know, popular in the media and movies and things like that. But most people don't really know somebody who has been through something like that before. And so I get a lot of questions about it. Some are kind of funny, and I just kind of have to laugh them off. And some people, I think, are afraid to ask me about it. And I haven't shared enough. I mean, it's an amazing testimony. It's an amazing thing. You know, out of a hardship, some amazing things happened. And I need to share that story more. People need to know that when bad things happen in your life, they don't have to destroy you. So I'll just give you guys a brief kind of overview of what happened, and then I'm going to tell you how I decided to turn it into something good. So I was going on a mission trip to Uganda in May of 2010. We went over there. We were supposed to go over there to do some mission work and, you know, go out and share the gospel and give Bibles and mosquito nets and things like that. But God had bigger plans, as he always does, and he turned our, you know, dreams into something amazing. And we ended up, because of some things that happened, we ended up opening an orphanage and taking care of those kids. And you guys can look through my pictures. I mean, it was an incredible time. And while I was there, I felt so at peace, and so it was exactly where I was supposed to be at that moment. And that feeling of just knowing that that's what you're supposed to do, and knowing that that is where you're supposed to be, it's an incredible feeling. If you've never felt that before, I hope that everybody gets to feel that. Just to know that at a moment in your life, you're doing exactly what you are supposed to be doing. It was incredible. I got to do some teaching. I loved it there. And near the end of our trip, it was about a week before we were coming home, we were going to watch the final match of the World Cup at a game. And a couple different things happened that made us late that day. One of our friends got in early, and so we met up with him, and then there was a parade, some random parade on the road on our way to dinner, because we decided to actually go eat dinner somewhere else and then go watch the game at this Ethiopian restaurant. Dinner took a while, and then traffic was bad, so our ride was delayed, and we just got there late. And so by the time we got there, the table that we usually sat at was, like in the area that we usually sat at, was taken. So we were seated over to the side of the restaurant, and it was kind of just a outside patio, with a big projector screen and all these tables set up and everything. And so we were seated in a semicircle on the side of the restaurant. And I remember being exhausted. It'd been a long day, and I kept dozing off. And we heard the halftime whistle blow and the big, horn things and everything from that year. And then the whole place exploded. I remember immediately thinking, oh, the projector blew, and then quickly realizing duck and cover. This, we were blown out of our seats, and unfortunately a lot of lives were lost there. And I still look back to this day and just thank God for saving me, because I do not know how we walked out of there. I don't know. I just remember not being able to put words together, and I was just praying, God, Jesus, because I couldn't say anything else. But God knows what we need in our hearts. And I had all these thoughts running through my head that it was the LRA or somebody's coming in here, like this is just the beginning, you get all those thoughts when things like that happen to you, that you start going into panic mode, like this is the end, and you start thinking about all the things that you wish you would have done, and all the things that could happen. Sorry. Anyway, I'll spare you the details, but we had to leave. We were sent home. We told our parents. We were called by radio stations and news, and there was an alert put out that Americans weren't safe. So we had to get back to the orphanage, and then someone had to go to our apartment and pack our bags, and we went home. And I remember talking to one of the kids before we left, and I told him, we have to go home, and, I'm sorry that our time got cut short, and I told him I'd be back someday, and he told me that he'd be waiting for someday, and I'm waiting for someday too. My life was forever changed in that moment. It's not often that people experience something like that, and later we found out that the group that was responsible was Al-Shabaab, which is they were Somalian terrorists that were linked to Al-Qaeda, and they were bombing American missionaries because they believed that we were the cause of their Muslim suffering and the bad things that are going on in the Middle East. And they'd actually been staking out restaurants and saw that, American missionaries, we had been going there. And so that was part of the reason that restaurant was targeted. There was also another explosion across town where 2 consecutive bombs were detonated. That one was a little bit of a larger fatality area. And then there was another, when, they caught them and they were talking to him, there was another guy who was supposed to bomb another place, but he walked in and saw the people and couldn't do it. All I know is that God's hand was on us, because if we were seated at the same table that we normally were, I don't know that we would have walked out of there in the same condition that we did, or if we even would have walked out of there. I don't know why it happened. I don't know why I experienced it. I do know that I was in a rough place for a little while coming back, and I still struggle with it sometimes. I still have a hard time. I still have days where it's hard to think about just, the memories and the things. It's not something that you're taught how to deal with. But I do know that I obviously have a purpose. I was given a second chance at life, and I'm not going to waste it. I firmly believe that there are people out there that need to know that when things like that happen to you, it gets better, and you can be okay, and you can choose to allow those situations and those circumstances to totally defeat you, or you can choose to rise above and let it strengthen you and use it for good, to be a light in somebody else's life. I had a million excuses as to why I could have given up in life. I had things happen constantly and bad news constantly. But I was raised in a way that you overcome. You don't let things, you give it your all, you give it your best at all times. And no matter what happens, it's not worth giving up. There's more to life than just a bad situation. A bad situation is temporary, and being able to overcome those situations makes you a strong person, makes you able to accomplish anything. And I will tell you that every time I've heard bad news, every time something bad has happened, it's broken me for a little bit, and that's okay. It's okay to feel those emotions. I have to remind myself of that sometimes, that it's okay to feel those things, but don't feel them forever. Feel them and then move on. Get up and move on. And so that is what I live daily reminding myself of, is that you have to get up and you have to keep going. That's why when I hear people complain and make up these excuses for things and whine about little things, it bothers me, because I don't get it, why you would allow yourself to sit in a place of misery and defeat. That's not what we were designed for. We weren't designed to wallow in self-pity or to complain about things. It's pointless and it's useless and it wastes time. And I still catch myself making dumb excuses, and I have to get up in the morning and remind myself, this is my second chance at life. I wasn't given a second chance at life to ruin it, to destroy what I've been given. And I need to make sure that I'm filling my day with purpose and passion. And that's what I do. I set out every day to try to honor my second chance that I was given, whether it's through helping somebody, being there for someone, maybe inspiring somebody that needs that extra little push. Because bad stuff happens. It just does. And, I could have given up. I could have. My back hurts a lot. That's something that it just does. But I can choose to let that overcome me and not only have the pain, but also have the misery of not accomplishing the things that I want to. Or I can say, you know what? Get up and get over it and make things happen and choose to live happily. And that's what I do, because I want to treasure the moments that I have, because I know how precious life is and how precious these moments are. And I want you guys to realize that it doesn't matter what happens to you or where, what's going on in your life. It doesn't matter if you are in your lowest of low. You can choose to overcome and make good out of that situation. So I got cut off, but I just wanted to wrap this all up. I know I said a lot, but I wanted to wrap this all up and say that you decide the kind of life you want to live, and you are the one who gets to make your dreams come true. I still have a fire and a burning passion for Uganda, and that is a huge motivator for me in my coaching business. Not only do I get to share this amazing happiness and health that I found with people, but I also get to build a means to open the school that I've always dreamed of opening. It's a huge, huge dream of mine to open a school in Uganda, and with the money that I make from coaching, I am saving up to do that. So it drives me, it keeps me going, it makes me want this to be successful. And you have to find those things that you cling to. Find those people that build you up. Find those things that motivate you, that when you are stuck, you can't stop, because you have such a driving force to make you reach your goals that there is nothing that could get in your way. Not a diagnosis, not a traumatic experience, not a loss, nothing. You make things happen. So today, choose to keep reaching for your goals. And if you have dreams that you haven't even started fighting for yet, start right now. And if you need help just making that kind of stuff happen, reach out to me. You can reach out to me for anything. I mean, that's what I want to be for people. I want people to come to me for support. I've been through it. I've been there. I've been in those depths. I've been at those lows. I've had those hardships. And I want to help somebody overcome those too. I want to be that person for you.
It's 9 o'clock.
So if you need that support, if you need somebody, reach out to me. Make today awesome. Make your life awesome. You get to do that. God gives you the strength and the power to do those things. He does not design us to live a life of misery. Find the joy. Find the happiness. Don't wait for happiness to fall in your lap. Create it. Look around you. There's so much to be thankful for. You could choose to sit in your misery and let it darken your life, or you can push it aside and look at the brightness. So yeah, I'm going to try to share little bits of my story more, because I feel like I need to get it off my chest, and maybe it will help someone. So I hope that tonight you got something out of this, and thank you for listening and letting me share this with you, and letting me be a part of your life. You guys are the reason that I keep going. You guys are the reason that I overcome when I feel down. You guys are the reason that I keep pushing, and I appreciate you letting me lean on you. I love you guys, and yeah.